Okay, it's June 7th, 2018, about 2:30 in the afternoon, and I just wanted to take a quick walk through Tortuga's solar system. The solar system consists of two 50-watt monocrystalline panels located on a cabin top, and because of the way this boat is set up, the cabin top is 100% free of shade, so I have the panels wired together in series. Because they're unshaded is not the only reason I have them wired together in series. Among the other reasons are that it will give me some charging early in the morning when the sun first comes up and later in the afternoon, because the voltage from the two panels will be above battery voltage for longer during a day. And also, the main reason was I originally wired the boat with one 50-watt panel. I sized the wiring accordingly. And when I went up to 100 watts, had I gone in parallel, I would have had to yank the old wires, which are built into the structure of the boat, and it would have been a pain to do that. So by wiring the two panels in series, I was able to avoid that because the amperage stayed the same, and voltage drop in the wires is proportional to amperage. Okay, let's take a look at the various components of the system now. Tortuga's solar system consists of two 50-watt monocrystalline solar panels wired together in series. They're in series because I originally had one 50-watt monocrystalline solar panel and set up the wiring accordingly, never really intending to upgrade. Second, this year when I upgraded to two panels, I didn't want to have to pull the wire out and replace it with heavier gauge wire, so I wired the panels together in series so the amperage would never be any more than it was with a single panel, and the voltage drop would not be any bigger. These two panels typically run between about 38 and 40 volts and can put out as much as about 2.5, maybe 2.6 amps to give us 100 watts from the two panels. Now let's go below and look at the rest of the system. Right here is where the cabling comes through the cabin top into the boat. It runs behind that unpainted cover and then down this post here, and then finally across to the charge control. Here's the solar charge controller. It's a Victron Smartsolar 7515 MPPT charge controller with Bluetooth output. The cabling from the solar panels comes out of the panel to the left of the charge controller. The black rectangle with the white handle is a 15 amp circuit breaker in the wiring between the solar panels and the charge controller, and that wiring is 14 gauge tinned marine wire. From the charge controller, the wiring to the batteries goes first into the steering pedestal and down to the batteries, which are underneath the cabin sole, and that wire is also 14 gauge tinned marine wire, and it is fused also at 15 amps. The Victron charge controller does not have a display of any kind to show you what the charging situation is, other than some LED. However, it does have Bluetooth and it will communicate with a smartphone. So I'm going to connect my smartphone to it. I've already started. It's just going to connect. Here we go. And this is in history mode. We'll switch over to status. Oop. Right now it's at 0 watts. It just dropped back to float mode. So that's turned the output way down. It's coming back up. It's also pretty cloudy out. So 15, probably stabilize in the 15 to 20 watt range. Solar panel voltage right now is 43.48. The MPPT controller has pushed it up to get the wattage down for the float mode, and its batteries are at 13.79, which is right exactly where they're supposed to float, and currently we're charging at just around 1 amp, and it is in float mode. As you saw when we looked at the solar panels on the cabin top, there's plenty of room for more solar if I want. In fact, the cabin top is a little bit over 15 feet long and averages about 6.5 feet wide. So that could easily accommodate 4 or even 5 250 watt panels. So I could put over 1,000 watts of solar on the cabin top if I wanted to. I don't have the need for that much power, so I won't, but if I needed more power, I could easily upgrade by adding additional panels. I would, however, then have to upgrade the wires as well, which would mean taking apart some of the interior of the boat, which I don't want to do, which is one of the reasons I'm not planning to upgrade anytime soon. Alright, that summarizes Tortuga's solar system. System keeps up with the demands that I put on it. Right now the refrigeration is on, and as you saw, the solar panels have gone into the float mode, so the charging was staying ahead of the refrigeration. The solar panels will have no problem putting out enough power to keep the batteries fully charged, even if I leave the refrigeration on 24/7. The only other significant power draw is the bilge pumps. That's significant during the first week or so after I launch, because the pumps run fairly frequently. But as the planking in the hull swells up, the pumps run less and less frequently. And in a week or so, they'll be running maybe twice a day for a total of maybe 20 seconds. And that is almost no amperage, so the solar panels only have to charge at a minimal amperage for a few minutes to keep up with that. So I'm happy with the solar system on the boat. It is what I need to keep everything charged up. This boat does not have shore power, so I rely completely on my solar panels and my alternator when I'm underway. Yesterday I was underway for an hour and 20 minutes, and the alternator pushed the batteries right up to full charge during that time. Okay, thanks for watching. If you liked it, give me a thumbs up, and please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And if you have, encourage one of your friends to subscribe too. Thanks for watching.